What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to discuss this Saturday's upcoming main event between Derrick Lewis and Sergey Spivak. But guys, before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly. Alright guys, getting right into it. Derrick Lewis taking on Sergey Spivak. UFC Fight Night 218, South Korea. A lot of implications. You got Derrick Lewis right now riding a 2-fight losing streak, where you got Sergey Spivak, who's on the other end of that, riding a 2-fight win streak. Lewis, I think he was finished by Sergey Pavlovich and Tai Tuivasa in his last 2 fights. Where the last one, I guess you could say, was a little bit of an early stoppage, but it definitely was not looking good for Derrick going into that fight. I mean, up to that point of the knockdown. He got knocked down, and Dan Miragliotta kind of stepped in, and yeah, I mean, it didn't look good for Derrick because he kind of went face down, ass up for like half a second, but he like recovered immediately and was getting back up as Dan kind of stepped in to save him. So there's a little bit of controversy there, but it wasn't looking good for him up until that point, right? It was, I think it was like 50 seconds into it, but Derrick got put on his ass, and then he was coming off that pretty weird knockout loss to Tai Tuivasa, where Tai hit him with like a stiff jab, it wobbled him, and he followed it up with the elbow into the fence and put him down and out. So Derrick, who's been having some issues with his performances lately, he had the fight against Cyril Gane where he just got completely outclassed. You could tell the stress is getting to him. I think he's 0-3 in Houston. So, I mean, him fighting in his hometown is definitely not ideal. You're not getting good results with him fighting in front of his home crowd. So putting him on the complete opposite of the spectrum in South Korea might do something for his nerves. Who knows? This fight was already canceled before. I think this fight was supposed to happen for the first fight night of the year. But Derrick Lewis, he ended up pulling out, I think it was the day of the fight. They're saying it was a COVID issue. But, I mean, Derrick has had issues of panic attacks or throwing his back out in the past. So maybe they're trying to hide some sort of either injury or maybe a nerve issue that he's been having where it's been hard for him to get out there. Because Derrick, you could tell he's such a warm soul. He's a bit of a sensitive guy, you could tell. And you could tell that he really wants to put on a good show for the fans. He wants to perform for the fans, and he wants to do well for himself. So you could tell he puts a lot of pressure on himself, and it seems to backfire on him sometimes, and it kind of really affects his performances. But he's looking like he's in really good shape right now. Looks like he's ready to go. He looks like he's in high spirits in some recent interviews. And going against a guy like Sergey Spivak, who's young, I think he's about 27, 28 years old. He's definitely on the rise, riding a 2-fight, 2-finish win streak against guys like Greg Hardy, who's a heavy hitter, Augusto Sakai, who's also a heavy hitter. He was able to close the distance, get those guys to the ground, and just smother them. I mean, he has gone leaps and bounds recently than what we've seen in the last few years. I mean, he was getting tooled up by guys like Walt Harris. Tom Aspinall dispatched him pretty easily. But Tom Aspinall is pretty legit. I think a lot of people are writing him off after that Curtis Blades fight. But with Sergey, he definitely has high potential, and he's been able, it shows recently, he's looked really good shape. He's been lean, fast. His boxing's looked a lot better. He's been able to close the distance and just use his weight and distribute his weight to where these guys just really can't get back up. And his improvements definitely shows that he might be ready against these top 10 guys, and if he beats Derrick Lewis, I think that'll put him at number 8. He could be fighting guys. I mean, the whole UFC heavyweight division is kind of wide open besides Cyril Gane. I don't think Curtis Blades has anything up. He's 3rd. Sergey Pavlovich, I don't think he has anything in the works right now. I think I'm wrong on that, to be honest. We got guys like Tai Tuivasa, Volkov. And Tai Tuivasa, who's got the finish win over before. I think he almost ended Tai's first stint in the UFC. So, I mean, you got a guy like Tai who's ranked above him, and if he can beat Derrick Lewis, it'll put Tai at 6, him at 8. That could definitely get a nice rematch for Spivak to right that L from years prior. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comment section, guys. What you guys think is going to happen between Derrick Lewis and Sergey Spivak. I think if you put a gun to my head, I think Sergey, is going to pull out the victory here. I think he's going to be able to close the distance. If he's able to make Derrick miss in the ways that he was able to make Greg Hardy and Augusto Sakai miss in his last 2 outings, it's going to be a long night for Derrick Lewis. But Derrick, he's looking like he's in really good shape. He's got that one-shot KO power. Obviously, he's the KO king of the UFC. So, guys, I'd love to hear your guys' opinions in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, guys, to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly. Let's fucking go, fight fans. Mr. Mustache MMA News, out.